Alan Kaufman. Um, Now, Alan Kaufman, you should know, is an award-winning fiddler, yodeler. He's a teacher, a published author, a scientist, and a mystic. And that's what he does in the mornings. He's in his life, he's traveled down the rabbit hole and found there his love of storytelling. So, Alan, please, I know you have a story for us. And you're muted. There you go.
Yes, thank you so much, Jim. So, where do I begin? I was brought up in New York City in Flatbush, and I went to Midwood High School, which is in Flatbush, and it had quite a bunch of famous people who traveled through that school. And one of them was Woody Allen, who I can really relate to as a Jewish neurotic. And um, yeah, his films really touched me pretty deeply. But also some of the things that he said in his books and his films. One particular thing that stood out for me. And he said, "I'm not afraid of death. I just don't want to be there when it happens." And you know, none of us do really. None of us do want to be there when it happens. But it's inevitable. It's one of the things that we're be sure of is that we will meet it someday. But it may not be what we expect. We just don't know. And we won't know till it happens. So with that, hello. I'm the angel of death. Now, I really am the angel of death, you see, but um, I even have a business card. But as you can see, there's nothing written on it because the big boss said you have to be really careful what you put on the business card. You'll scare away the customers. But every once in a while, I think of what I'm going to put on the business card, you know. And sometimes I'm thinking, maybe I'll advertise it as a car service. Because indeed, what I do is I pick up people from one place and I bring them somewhere else. That's what I do. It makes sense. I haven't put that on my business card yet, but I'm thinking of it. So yesterday I got a call from the big boss upstairs, the dispatcher. And he says, "I have a pickup for you. I want you to go and pick up Mr. Rosenblatt at 322 Kingbridge, apartment 2C in the Bronx." So I go there. It's a nice building, really well-kept building, tall building, nice elevator. Everything is clean. I walk in, I take the elevator up to the second floor, and I look around in the hall and I find apartment 2C, and I knock on the door. And I wait a little while because I've been told that Mr. Rosenblatt is 92 years old. It's going to take him a little bit of time to amble to the door. And he finally does. He opens the door a little bit and he says, "Who are you?" And I said, "I'm your ride. I'm here to take you where you need to go." He said, "Oh, a car service? A taxi? I didn't call a taxi. I think you made a mistake. I think you made a mistake because I didn't call any taxi or car service, so I think you're mistaken." "No, I didn't call anybody." And I said, "Mr. Rosenblatt, you are Mr. Rosenblatt. This is 3322 Kingsbridge, apartment 2C, so I think I'm at the right place." And he said, "No, I'm telling you, I didn't call anyone. I would know. People make mistakes all the time. You're making a mistake. You have to know that." And I said, "I understand, Mr. Rosenblatt, but the dispatcher assured me that I'm at the right place." You see, It's, I work for the big boss, and he got in touch with me, and he told me that I'm I should come and take you where you need to go. And he's silent for a while. And then he says, "Oh, you must be the angel of death." But I'm telling you, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I just got my results back from the doctor, and he says that I'm as healthy as a man half my age. I'm in really good I'm in good shape. I'm healthy. I'm all the numbers came back right. And besides, I really want to paint. I want to do an oil painting. I've never done an oil painting before. I want to paint. I got a palette. I got the paints. I got everything, and I'm going to sit down, and I'm convinced that even though I've never done a painting before, no oil painting, I'm going to do a painting. And besides, I've never gotten lost. I've never gotten lost. Some other people, they get lost, and they go somewhere and they get lost, and then they find their way back. I've never gotten lost. So no, I'm not ready. I'm not going. And I said, "Listen, Mr. Rosenblatt, I understand you completely. I've seen a lot of people. I've seen a lot of people lately, and like you, who aren't ready. And I understand totally. My heart is with you. But I want you to look at it this way. I want you to think that you're going to a family reunion. You're going to be seeing people who you haven't seen for so many years. You haven't seen them. They want to see you so badly, and you want to see them. And as soon as you see them, instantly you're going to go over and hug them, and they're going to hug you because it's been so long, and they love you, and you love them. So that's what I want you to think of. I want you to think of it that way. Yeah. So I want you to have that in your mind and in your heart. And what I want you to do is I just want you to relax. I want you to take a couple of deep breaths and then exhale. Some more deep breaths, just like that, yeah. And then exhale. And while you're doing that, and just keep doing that, just the way you're doing it, I want you to put your finger out. Just put your finger out like this, and keep breathing like this, yeah, and exhaling. Just do that. This is perfect. And while he was doing that, our fingers touched. And he was gone. So this is what an angel of death does, you know? We all have to kind of deal with it at some point in time. But I don't want you to think of me as the angel of death. Just think of me as angel. That's enough. That's enough. Just angel. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Alan. Thank you, Alan.